Under the swirling blue clouds of Neptune, the ice-covered city shimmered like a forgotten dream, hidden beneath the planet's frigid surface for millennia. It was a marvel of alien architecture, towers of crystal piercing the depths, glowing faintly with an ancient energy that seemed both alluring and dangerous. The city was alive with movement, as ethereal beings glided through the ice, their translucent forms leaving trails of light in their wake. These were the last remnants of a once powerful civilization, guarding secrets that could either save or doom another world. Above, in the shadow of Neptune's icy rings, a human spacecraft hovered silently. Its metallic hull reflected the blue hues of the gas giant, the small ship dwarfed by the cosmic expanse. Inside the craft, a team of explorers prepared for their descent into the unknown. Their mission was simple yet fraught with peril: to make contact with the alien city and retrieve a technology rumored to have the power to restore Earth's dying oceans. But as they readied themselves, each member of the crew felt the weight of their personal stakes. Captain Elena Vasquez stood at the observation window, her dark eyes fixed on the glowing city beneath. She had fought for years to be assigned this mission, but now that they were here, a cold dread settled in her chest. She clenched her fists, trying to suppress the flood of memories from Earth: the parched deserts, the endless dust storms, the children with hollow eyes, desperate for water. Earth was dying, and she had promised her daughter she would fix it. But now, staring down at the alien city, she feared that the solution might cost more than anyone had anticipated. Behind her, the crew suited up in their advanced diving gear, their exosuits humming softly as they powered up. The suits were built to withstand the intense pressures of Neptune's icy ocean, their surfaces lined with sleek, energy-absorbing materials. Elena turned and surveyed her team: Jackson, the brash but brilliant engineer; Dr. Myra Patel, the quiet, introspective scientist; and Samir, the rookie, young and idealistic, with a nervous energy that was hard to miss. "Ready for the dive?" Jackson asked, his voice breaking the silence. He was already in his suit, adjusting the helmet with practiced ease. Elena nodded, forcing a smile. "We don't have much choice." Dr. Patel joined them, her face calm but her eyes betraying a hint of anxiety. "We don't know what we'll find down there. The alien energy signatures are unlike anything we've seen. We need to be cautious." Samir, fidgeting with his suit's controls, spoke up. "Do you think they'll communicate with us, the aliens, I mean?" Elena glanced at the holographic display hovering above them, showing the readings from the city below. "We'll soon find out." As the team descended into Neptune's icy depths, the world around them transformed. The light from the alien city grew brighter, casting an ethereal glow that illuminated the crystalline towers. The deeper they went, the more the environment shifted from cold and desolate to something that felt strangely alive. Vibrant energy pulsed through the ice, and the alien beings, the keepers, moved with purpose, their forms flickering in and out of sight. Elena led the way, her suit's propulsion system gently guiding her through the water. Her heart raced as they approached the entrance to the city, a massive archway made of translucent stone, shimmering like glass. As they neared, the keepers suddenly halted their movements, turning their glowing eyes toward the humans. There was no malice in their gaze, but a sense of profound watchfulness, as if they were judging whether the humans were worthy of entering their domain. Elena raised her hand, signaling the others to stop. "Hold position. We don't want to provoke them." The team hovered in place, their breaths echoing in the comms. Dr. Patel was the first to speak. "They're waiting for something. I don't think they're hostile. But they expect something from us." Jackson, ever the pragmatist, muttered, What do we give to aliens that guard an underwater city on Neptune? A handshake. But Elena was thinking back to the mission briefing, the ancient texts and glyphs they had studied, the legends of a forgotten civilization that protected the keys to life. She reached into the small compartment on her suit and pulled out a small, crystalline shard, one of the few artifacts they had recovered from Earth, rumored to be of the same origin as the city below. Taking a deep breath, she held the shard out before her, letting it catch the light from the city. For a moment, nothing happened. Then, slowly, the keepers began to move again, gliding toward them with a grace that belied their otherworldly nature. One of the beings extended a hand like appendage and touched the shard. A soft, musical hum filled the water around them, and the archway before them began to glow brighter. "They're letting us in," Elena whispered, her voice filled with awe. As the team drifted through the archway, the city unfolded before them in all its alien majesty. Towering spires of crystal rose high into the water, connected by intricate bridges of light. Strange symbols and patterns glowed faintly on the walls, and the air, if it could even be called that, buzzed with an energy that felt ancient and sentient. Samir, his voice barely a whisper, asked, "Do you think this place has been waiting for us?" Elena didn't answer, but she felt it too. There was a sense of purpose to the city, as though it had been lying dormant for centuries, waiting for someone or something to awaken it. The team moved deeper into the city, passing through vast chambers filled with intricate machinery and glowing consoles. Jackson, ever the engineer, marveled at the technology, his fingers itching to dismantle and study everything around them. Dr. Patel, however, was more cautious. "This technology is beyond anything we've ever seen. We need to be careful. One wrong move could trigger who knows what." As they ventured further, they came upon a central chamber. In its heart stood a massive device, a towering pillar of light that pulsed with energy, its base surrounded by alien symbols that mirrored the shard Elena carried. This was the source of the power they had detected, the key to restoring Earth's oceans. Elena approached the pillar, her heart pounding. This was it. The solution to Earth's greatest crisis. But as she reached out to touch the controls, a soft voice echoed in her mind. "Not all is as it seems." She froze, her hand inches from the device. The voice was unlike anything she had ever heard, soft, melodic, but filled with a sorrow that tugged at her heart. The keepers had gathered around them, watching silently. "What do you mean?" Elena asked aloud, though she knew the voice wasn't coming from any of her crew. The voice responded, more clearly this time. "This power can save your world, but it demands a sacrifice. Every life saved on your planet will cost one here. Will you trade one world for another?" Elena's heart sank. The truth of the situation hit her like a wave. The technology could restore Earth, but it would drain the life force from the city and its inhabitants, the keepers, the last remnants of a once great civilization. They had been waiting for someone to come, to make the choice. Jackson, noticing her hesitation, stepped forward. "What's wrong? This is what we came for, right?" Elena turned to him, her face pale. "It's not that simple. If we use this, it'll destroy them." She gestured to the keepers, who stood in silent acceptance, their glowing forms flickering faintly. Samir's voice was tied with emotion. "But Earth, our families. We can't just let it die." Dr. Patel placed a hand on Elena's shoulder. "We have to make a choice, Elena. Either way, someone suffers." Tears welled in Elena's eyes as she stared at the alien device. She thought of her daughter back on Earth, of the dry, barren lands that once thrived with life. But she also thought of the keepers, the quiet guardians who had preserved the city for centuries, waiting for someone to come, only to face extinction at the hands of those they had hoped to help. "Is there no other way?" she asked, her voice breaking. The voice responded with a deep sadness. "All life is a balance. To restore your world is to end ours. The choice is yours, but choose wisely." Elena closed her eyes, her heart heavy with the weight of the decision. She knew what needed to be done, but the cost was too great. She couldn't condemn one world to save another. She lowered her hand from the controls and turned to her team. "We'll find another way. We have to." Jackson looked conflicted, but he didn't argue. Dr. Patel nodded solemnly, her expression one of quiet understanding. Samir, tears in his eyes, whispered, "I hope you're right." As they began their ascent back to the surface, Elena glanced back at the city, its soft glow fading into the depths. The keepers watched them in silence, their fate sealed by the choice that had been made. And though Elena had chosen not to use the device, she couldn't shake the feeling that the city had given her more than just a choice. It had given her a chance to understand the true cost of survival. A chance to see that some sacrifices could never be justified, no matter the need. As they rose through Neptune's icy waters, the swirling blue clouds above them seemed less like a barrier and more like a reminder. A reminder that life, in all its forms, was fragile, and that sometimes the greatest act of courage was not to take what could save you, but to leave behind what could destroy another.